everyone, and welcome to another Mind Power Monday. A couple of admin things. I'm doing a couple new things. One is I'm using my AirPods today, so I just want to make sure that you can hear me once people hop on, and can you just let me know that the AirPods are working? That would be fantastic. And also, I'm in Richmond again. Our plumber's on site today installing our tub and diverter, and so I let him in and dealt with the water shut off to the building, and then worked my way over here to the beach to share with all of you. So it has been windy on and off. It is not too bad at the moment, but I'm hoping that the wind doesn't stop us from being able to hear me. So I can kind of hear when they go into the earbuds, and I'm hoping that that means I can gauge whether or not you can hear me. But it would be amazing if you could just let me know if you can hear me. One, because I have my AirPods in, and two, because there is some wind. And if I need to relocate myself and walk and talk, then I absolutely will do so. So okay, there's the admin things. Hi, I'm Melanie Robinson, and this is another Mind Power Monday. I'm a real estate investor just like the rest of you. I have invested in lots of different strategies over the years, from new builds to foreclosures to BRRRRs to long-term buy and holds. And at the moment, we are working on a flip, and I am also really working towards building relationships with joint venture partners. So really looking to build my portfolio for the long-term buy and holds at the same time that we do these flips. So I utilize private lending, and then also am working at building relationships for the for joint venture partnerships. So I'm just looking to see if anybody is commenting here. I don't see anything at all, which is interesting. So hopefully you can hear me, and I'll just carry on as though you can, and if not, maybe I'll have to do another one in a different location. Anyhow, so that's me as a real estate investor. And who am I as a why am I as a real estate investor sharing Mind Power Monday with you? I am sharing this because my background is in corporate training, coaching, consulting. I'm a master practitioner of NLP, and we have a family business that is done. My mom is a trainer of NLP, so she certifies people in NLP. Anyhow, because of all of that, I've been really, really fortunate to learn all about the mind, how the mind works, and how people create success through utilizing their mind to create the results they want. So I'm super passionate about that, and love sharing with all of you, trying to help you get past whatever mind blocks you might have that are stopping you from achieving that next level of success. It's really bizarre that I'm not seeing any comments. So either you guys aren't saying good morning, or you can't hear me at all, and I'm sitting here talking like a mime with my mouth moving and no sound. So hopefully everyone can hear me on this breezy day. Oh, I see some people now. It's popping on saying people are watching. So if anyone can just confirm whether or not you can actually hear me, that would be amazing. And yeah, I'm gonna kind of just wait and see. I'm in sunny Richmond, as I mentioned a little while ago, and working on our flip. Our plumber is there this morning, so just wanting to make sure you can hear me while I'm talking, but it's really bizarre that no comments are coming through. Anyhow, I'm going to carry on, and if I have to redo this, like I said, I absolutely will. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is communication and paying attention to the person that is in front of you. So when we have a message to share, when we're going to meet somebody, when we're getting on a call, we typically have our own sort of agenda going on. And that causes us to come in with this idea of what we're going to share, but not able to, or not paying attention to the person in front of you. So I am a little distracted because I'm really concerned that you can't hear me. Maybe what I'll do is take my earbuds out and see if that changes anything. Can anybody hear me? Hello, hello. Anyhow. Bizarre feeling to know that I'm sitting here and chatting and you might not be able to hear anything. Okay, Joe, you inspired me this morning to remind everybody that we're doing Mind Power Monday. I know that there's a delay, but can you hear me? It's really bizarre. I'm not sure that for some reason I'm feeling like maybe you guys can't hear me, and I want to make sure you can. This is the weirdest feeling. So here's a live, and one of the fun things about doing a live is you want to make sure that obviously the message is getting out there and that everybody can hear me. I'm set up at a beach in Richmond, in Steveston actually. It's absolutely stunning. And I found myself a little spot that I'm hoping isn't too windy, and I'm just wanting to make sure that you guys can hear me. But I'm seeing no comments coming up, no good mornings, no nothing, which is really strange because I know you guys are usually fairly active. So I'm really super curious if my mouth is just moving or if you guys are actually hearing. Anyhow, I'm going to carry on. I need to share the message with you. I need to reconnect. Instead of worrying about all this technical stuff, I have to just trust that everything is working perfectly. Thank you, Jasmine. Yay. Okay, so now I have to reconnect with why am I here in the first place? And what am I wanting to share with all of you amazing investors today? And what I was really thinking about sharing today is communication from the perspective of, do you pay attention to the person that is in front of you? Or do you just come with your message and start with an agenda? So obviously we all know, and we've heard it a million times, but everything in life is about relationships. And part of that, a huge part of building relationships is, thank you, Joe. Yeah, I'm getting them on Messenger. I'm not getting any comments here, which is really bizarre, but that's okay. I'm just going to trust all is perfect. I really appreciate you guys letting me know you can hear via Messenger. And I really do want to communicate this message with you all, which is building relationships is critical, as we all do know. But then the question, or the important piece of that, is being proactive in taking the care that's required to build those relationships. So when we are talking to somebody, when we schedule a phone call or a Zoom or, face-to-face meetings and before at networking events, whatever it might be, we all obviously have an agenda. We have something that we want to share or communicate with the person that we're talking to, which is fantastic. But if you go into each scenario, and as small or big as it might be, and you just go in with your agenda and you start, I'm going to say spewing it, but you start sort of going for it, diving right into what it is that you're wanting to discuss or chat about, you are very likely, or there's a high possibility that you are not going to achieve the results you want in that communication. And here's why. Even if you know somebody really well, we all come to the table every day, and even at different parts of the day, with a different version of ourselves based on whatever has gone on previous to that. So you can't think that you know somebody and go in and just start sharing. That's one of our biggest mistakes, is that even with our partners, as an example, we know them really well. We're obviously really, really connected, but we might not figure out where they're at before we start delivering our pitch, so to speak. If we're looking to discuss something that we're wanting, we might just go in because we have this relationship, we have this long-term connection. We might just go in with our idea and throw it out there, and then we don't like the response that we got. And that's because we didn't pay attention to the person in front of us at that moment. So here's what I wanted to share with you today. Here's what I challenge you all to do over this next week. I think it's fair for me to assume that relationships are super important to you. I think it's fair for me to assume that we're all wanting to achieve incredible things in our lives. And in order to do that, we want to move ourselves to that next level of awareness, of communication, of building relationships, of success. And in order to do that, every situation that you go into, and again, I want to remind you, this is whether it's on the phone, on a Zoom, at a coffee meeting, at a dinner party, it doesn't matter where it is. And hopefully as COVID, the impact of COVID lessens and we're able to be out and about more, this will be even more impactful. But I want you to be looking at the person that's in front of you. I want you to be paying attention. What is their body language? You want to meet them there. You don't want to come barreling in with this excitement and this enthusiasm if they're not in that same place as you. You want to look at where they're at and you want to meet them there. That's called building, it's an element of building rapport. So I want you to look. You can do that on Zoom. You can't do that obviously on the phone, but what you can do on the phone is to listen. So you're going to listen for two things. You're going to listen for their tone of voice, because that will indicate to you where, sort of at the level of which to be delivering your message. So if they're in an upbeat, speaking very quickly, high energy, bubbly mode, then that would be a very different approach than somebody who's in a very calm, quiet, introspective mode. And so your delivery needs to be different based on where that person's at. You don't want to make up things in your mind. We call it an NLP mind reading. You don't want to make up what that means, but you want to be curious about it, and you want to start potentially asking questions. But the first thing is to be aware of the person on the other end. You're looking for signs. You're looking for where they're at so you can meet them where they're at. You're listening for where they're at so that you can meet them, so that they can hear your message. You're also listening for the words that they use to describe things, so that it's amazing, and I won't go into all the data on this, but hopefully you can trust me on this. Words are hugely impactful. So if you use the same words that somebody else uses to communicate to you, you will connect with them on such a deeper level. It might feel funny, like you're mimicking them, or, and that they're going to take note of that. But unless you're really crazy about it, you obviously don't want to copy every word, but listen for how they describe things. There's visual, auditory, kinesthetic, auditory, digital people, and we all process the world. Maybe I'll do another Mind Power Monday on that, but we all see the world through and process from a different representational system. And then we use language for that. And so when somebody speaks in another rep system's words, if you're visual and somebody speaks to you in auditory language, it's literally a disconnect. You literally cannot hear their message, basically. So you want to be paying attention to these small details, and I can share more. I'm happy to share more with anybody who's interested in this. But my point in today isn't so much on the intricacies and the details as it is that I want you to pay attention. You have a person on the other end. Are you paying attention to them? Are you looking and listening and communicating with them in the way that they need you to, in order to be able to hear your message? Or are you communicating your message in whatever way you want to, because you have a message to share and you're just going to communicate that, and you cross your fingers and potentially you don't get the results you want, and you're curious as to why you're not. If you're not building relationships in the way you want to, if there's some things that are sort of stressed, or the relationships, the communication isn't flowing the way you would hope that it would, pay attention to this and see if you can make some small change in this area, to be listening, to be looking, and to be meeting them where they're at, because then they feel like you. They think you're like them, and then they're going to want to keep talking to you. They're going to want to hear what you have to say, and they're going to want to build a relationship with you. It's beneficial to all parties involved. It's very respectful to the people on the other side, in my opinion, to care enough about them to pay attention to where they're at. And it's obviously a benefit to me and you as the communicator, because we're all wanting to do amazing things, and we're all wanting to build relationships, and in order to do that, we need to know how. So again, everything that I share with you, I'm sure things are working amazingly well for you. This is really just for when something potentially isn't working as well as you would like, and you're wanting to try to figure out what is something, again, from a mindset perspective, from a mental perspective, from a communication perspective, that you can hone in on, that is going to take you from this to this level of success. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking, how can we elevate ourselves? How can we get to that next level of success? How can we get even better at building relationships? How can we, connect with more people at a more meaningful way, so that we can create these win-win scenarios of joint venture partnerships and investing in real estate? How can we be the very best version of ourselves? And one of the ways that we can do that, absolutely, is to recognize when we're communicating, we are not just meant to be sharing our message in a one-way communication. We're meant to be paying attention to the person in front of them, or in front of us, and to be communicating in the way that they need us to. And that will create win-wins for all of us. So there you have it. That is our Mind Power Monday. Hopefully that was useful. Again, I can see 0 comments, which I don't read them anyways, but it's funny how now I realize that I do see them coming through. I just don't tune into them. So I absolutely will go back and take a look at your comments, as I always do, but it's very interesting not seeing them come through. I don't see any heart showers, which I'm assuming you guys are giving me because you're my rock stars and always do that. So I'm going to imagine that there's heart showers coming and comments coming, and I will look for them on when I get off of here. So I hope you all have an amazing week. Hopefully this has inspired you to pay attention differently while you're communicating ruminating over this next week. I also wanted to find out how those of you who took my challenge last week on breaking out of your comfort zone, how that went for you. Please share with me how that went. I did see some lives and some more frequent postings, so way to go for those of you who did, and for those of you who didn't, it's never too late. So pushing out of your comfort zone this week, you're going to be paying attention to your communication, really paying attention to the person on the other end, and noticing what your natural tendency is with regards to that, and really honoring the other person by meeting them where they're at. Share with me in the comments or private message how that goes for you, if you're noticing any relationships that impacts, and if that can help you in any positive way. And look at this wonderful view one more time. There's some fishing boats going by. I just love the water. Anyhow, have an amazing week, everyone. Share with me how you're doing. Any ways that I can support you on these Mind Power Mondays. I do just kind of do my best to deliver topics that are helpful to you, but absolutely would love to be sharing meaningful content that is going to help you move towards your goals within joint venturing and real estate investing. So please private message me, comment, post on the Fearless page, whatever you need to do to let me know how I can best support you and what topics I can cover. Have an amazing week, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye for now.